Well, just 1 second. All right. Quickly, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to set context of how marketing in real world will work for you, and what are the things that you need to be careful about. What do you look at? What are the things that you can do? Right. Not everything may help everybody. Some of the things may help some of you. Some of the things may not be immediately useful. But at some point of time, as you grow in your career, you will want to know this, right? Some of you may not want to start a D2C brand. You may want to continue as a professional working in some large corporates or mid-sized corporates or jewelers and all of that. But understanding, a little bit of a digital marketing and a social media will always help you enhance your professional, path. And because this is not like an era where you can sell a product without marketing, right? And digital marketing especially, right? If you go back in time, 10 years back, there were very few people who were on digital platforms or on internet in India. There were about 70 million. Right now, we are talking about somewhere around 700 million Indians who are using mobiles and internet every day. And so the time has changed, right? If you go back at home and look at what people at home, people at your home do. At some point of time, people used to stick to reading newspaper or looking at TV channels and all of that. But the time has changed drastically, where most of them will use connected TV. What I mean is you're watching YouTube, you are watching it on TV, or you're watching Hotstar or Z5 or Sony Live on TV or Netflix, or even if not TV, it's mobile and you're watching like a full series on mobile. And that time is right here, right now in front of us. Right, we are glued to mobile. India is is one of the largest mobile market in the world, internet market in the world, and almost we consume screen time or mobile time or internet time 2 times more than most of the large countries in the world. Right? So that if you are gonna be selling anything, you need to advertise or you need to reach out to people on digital platforms, engage with them on digital platform. So what I'm going to try and do is I'm going to try and set context of how do you go about doing the right things. What are the right platforms for you to be at, and what are the not so right platforms for you to be at, right? While I'm setting setting the foundation stone here, it's not like this session is going to teach you in-depth strategies and tell you exactly what you should be doing and how you should be doing. We'll give you an overview of what are the things that you can do, how do you do it, and then you can always figure out that these are the right things for you to do, and then get into depth with the help of some professional who can help you solve your business problems. So some of the agendas that I've listed down here is how the foundation of marketing and how do you look at marketing generally. What kind of website should you have? What do you do on social media? What platforms do you run on? What is search engine optimization? How do you do digital advertising? Where do you do digital advertising? What are the right platforms to reach out to? How do you analyze what you've done and how does it result into business for you? How do you manage reputation online? And then maybe some questions and answers. Quickly, I'll take 1 minute to tell you what do I do. So I look at marketing for NMMS University's online education unit. Right? We're basically a edtech company, within a university. We are one of the largest edtech company in India. We have thousands of students who do MBA with us online. Right. I've been working with different digital marketing agencies before this. The last role before NMMS was at India's largest advertising agency called Group M, and I worked with various industries across verticals that you can think of. in last 15-20 years of my career. Right, so work with almost every industry that you can think of, right? Which basically is a large business, large brand. Uh, yeah. So, I mean, I don't think it's so important for me to go into further details of what do I do and where do I come from. What I can assure you is I'll be able to give you right things to do because of my experience. Right? Cool. I'll just not spend a lot of time on what marketing foundation is, but I want you to understand that whatever you do on digital marketing or social media marketing or anywhere, right? There are few things that you sorry. Sorry, somebody was asking something. Sorry. Okay. Should I go ahead? I think I'll get started. I think it was just the background noise that we got stopped with. Uh, am I audible? Can one of you just raise hand saying that yes, you are audible? Okay, perfect. Thanks. Yeah. So whenever you're trying to advertise, whenever you're trying to do social media marketing, most important thing is foundation of your marketing, right? So for creating a basic foundation of your marketing, right, as an individual, as a brand, as a designer, what you need to understand is you need to understand what is the differentiator that you come with, right? There has to be some difference between you and everybody else, or most of the others in the market that you try to create as a brand or as an individual to stand out and gain value out of it, right? What I essentially mean is if you were going to be copying what everybody else was doing, then as a new player in the market, how are you going to attract somebody, right? Then your differentiator could be that, hey, I will do it at a discounted price, I will not charge as much, but then that is your differentiator. But that's your differentiator. You'll say that, hey, you know what, I'm going to do the same thing that everybody else in the market does, but I will do it at a better price. Or you will say that, hey, my designs are better than everybody else, I will charge premium, or I guarantee a genuine product and hence I will charge premium or whatever, right? So there has to be some differentiator that you come with, or mix of multiple things as a differentiator that you come with and say that these are the things that I will come with, right? Then you also have to define what your brand stands for, right? What is the personality of the brand? Is your brand is your brand fashion brand? Is your brand premium jewelry brand, right? If you look at those two differences, right? For example, you'll say that, hey, my brand is a fashion jewelry brand, right? A fast moving, not so expensive real jewelry brand. Um, Versus if my brand is very premium, then how you define your personality will be very different, right? The brand personality will be very different. If you are trying to be the brand who wants to be talking to youth, then the way you define your brand and the brand personality will be like a youth brand, right? So then that defines how your communication, how your designs and appearance of every single communication that you do going to look like, right? If you're going to, in case if you don't want to write, that's also okay. I'm going to send this presentation, but in case if you write it, it's perfectly fine, right? So if I am going to I'm going to be selling a fast-moving fashion, real jewelry. Then I will want my brand to look young. My products, my designs will also be aligned to that, right? And if I am trying to say that I'm going to have a very premium, traditional jewelry, then my brand will be like that, right? If you've gone to see, how Tanishq has a brand versus Gillian, like versus some other brands, which will have different, a proper outlet by Tata, which will have different different type of designs completely, right? So if you walk into a brand A versus brand B of Tata's jewelry, you will see a very different range of collection and the type of product, right? That's because their products are aligned to their brand, which is aligned to who they're trying to service, right? Now here there are a few things, right? So one, you don't necessarily say that this is what I will do because that's what my brand is. You can say, go back and say, this is what my strengths are. These are my differentiator, and hence my brand will try and service this kind of a product, this kind of an industry, this kind of an audience, and hence my brand personality is going to be like that, right? Then you know the most important question, right? If you want to uh, go step two, then you have to define whether your brand is you or your brand is independent of you, right? Uh, a brand, Tarun Tahliani is Tarun Tahliani, right? And it's not a brand name which is independent of him, right? Versus if you look at some of the brands that you will a lot of brands that you will see outside will not be assigned to one individual, right? It's not name of an individual. It's very different. It's brand as a personality and not the independent individual as a personality, right? So you need to decide that and define that. If you want to be saying that I am going to be creating custom jewelry because my personality has to come in that product, right? Then you say that I'm going to be an independent individual talking about my brand as my name, or I will create a name for a product category or a brand which I will work for, and I will create that brand as forefront and not my name as forefront. So when I come and talk to you, you don't say that, hey, it's me who's the designer. You say that this brand's designer has designed a product, right? So that is something that you need to ask yourself, whether you want your brand to be you or independent of you, right? And then find your niche, right? Find a niche in the market and say that this is a thing, a particular thing in the industry, something that I want to do. You may want to say that, hey, I will work only on a certain type of stones. I will work only on a certain type of jewelry. I will only work on white jewelry. I will only work on I mean, basically white gold, or I will only work on diamond with white gold and colored stones together. Focus on diamond with some elements of colored stone, but white gold only, right? So that could be your niche that you talk about. Or I will work on a very, very premium niche category only. If I will not service somebody who wants to buy jewelry worth 20 lakh rupees or below. Okay. एक एक सेट 20 लाख के नीचे का लेगा, उसको मैं सर्विस नहीं करूंगा. That could be your niche that you try to service, right? And hence you define who your target audience are, right? So once you look at all these things together, you will sort of come to answer, start answering a few things that you want to define as a brand before you get into doing any kind of marketing activity. Why all this is important is because if you don't define all of that, you will be in the sea, right? Without knowing which direction are you going towards, right? Where are you sailing? And that's a very bad situation to be, because you don't know where you're gonna land, right? If you know what you want to do, you can fail. You may not be able to reach the destination that you want to reach, but you will then do course correction. Saying that अगर मुझे बॉम्बे से सी में जाके दुबई जाना है और मैं रास्ता भटक गया हूँ, then I will figure out how do I correct my direction and reach Dubai, right? But if I don't know that I want to go there, then I will make a mistake, right? And reach somewhere else, and I don't know where do I reach, right? So it's very important for you to understand what do you want to service, then define what do you want to do, right? So once you answer all those 5 questions that you looked at, right, you need to work on, if my audience is so and so, my product niche is so and so, how do I define my brand name? If it is an individual, then it's very simple, right? अगर मिहिर लखानी ब्रांड है तो मैं बोलूंगा मिहिर लखानी है ज्वेलर्स या मिहिर एंड मिहिर हाउस ऑफ jewelry. But if you want to make it an independent brand, then you need to define it very sharp, right? It's very tricky. When you define the name, what you also need to look at is the website available for that name? Is social media available for that name? Is that name trademark registered by somebody else, right? And if you're looking at servicing only the country India, then that's fine. You look at trademark only in India. But if you're looking at servicing outside of India, then you look at if that's been trademarked in any other country, right? There are consultants who can help you find whether there are certain brand names are trademarked or not. There are websites where you can go and search for it. Like for India, if there are trademarks, you can go to a government of India's website where trademarks are registered. You just need to Google, right? Which where do I find trademark list? And you can search for trademarks and you'll be able to see some of those, right? But you need to identify that. Once you identify that, you need to, you know, figure out that if that name is not trademarked, then probably I can go ahead with. Then you start working on, you know, defining your logos, your punchlines, or something like that, right? You need to clearly define your target audience. मतलब आप पेपर पे या प्रेजेंटेशन पे या वर्ड डॉक्यूमेंट पे लिखो कि आपका टारगेट ऑडियंस क्या है. मेरा टारगेट ऑडियंस 18 से 22 साल का कॉलेज जाने वाला बंदा है जिसके पापा के पास 20 लाख की गाड़ी है और वो इस टाइप की ज्वेलरी पहनने में interested है, and hence I will make those kind of jewelry, and that's my target audience. Or I'm targeting somebody who's getting married, or I'm going to target somebody you know who's already married with a child, and she wants to wear like really premium looking jewelry or something like that. So you define your target audience very clearly. You may have 2 or 3 different definition of target audience also. So if you say that I'm going to work on a youth, you may say that, hey, my target audience is going to be a youth male and youth female, and I'm going to make this kind of products for youth male, this kind of product for youth female, right? Because you don't want to restrict yourself only to a particular target audience. Or you can say, hey, I have youth and I have a slightly older youth, right? मतलब मैं 18 to 22 को भी सर्विस करूंगा और मैं 22 से 28 bride को भी सर्विस करूंगा, right? That could be the thing. But then your definition of the kind of brand that you are and the kind of product you are going to service has to be in alignment to that, right? So you may not want to say that मैं young girl को a certain type of design दूंगा और मैं somebody who's getting married, I will give traditional designs. You may want to still say that my differentiation is I'm going to give a very young, peppy, modern, Western designs to somebody who's getting married, and that's my niche. I may not be able to reach out to 100 bride who's getting married and say that please buy my type of design. But what you essentially look out for is if there are 2 or 3 or 5 out of 100 who's looking out for a modern design, modern look, right? And want to do a little bit of a westernized design, then I will service that, right? What I'm trying to say is, I'm not trying to say that you do this, but you identify your niche and then you define whether, hey, that niche will have some business and that I can tap into. Because if you go to a large jewelry shop, one, they will have a lot of range of designs, right? And if you try to compete with them, it will be slightly tricky, unless you have a very, very deep pocket. And if you're able to set up like a big shop, like one of those guys, right? But let's assume that we're gonna be starting small, mid, and then try and grow large, right? So then you need to find a very sharp niche that you are able to work on, right? Then you define your brand values. My brand values are very, very important thing that I need to define, right? I am going to be of a certain standard, right? If somebody comes to me, they expect this thing, right? And then that's not something that I move away from, right? Then differentiation is something that you try to answer from the previous question. Very simple, right? That I am going to be different, like so and so. That's how you define your brand positioning. My brand is positioned to be in this category, right? So if you make a quadrant and say that there are 20 or 50 brands in the marketplace, this is where I'm placed, right? Now this is something, which is slightly all these things are chapters in itself. I cannot get into the absolute detail of those, but whenever you're trying to start your startup, right, what you need to do is you need to look at these points and say, hey, let me understand how does it work, right? How does brand name or identity creation work? How does brand values, what are the brand values examples? What are the brand positioning examples? What are the brand personality examples? Right? You'll find a lot of gyan all around the world. You can pick it up, read few of them, and or reach out to a consultant after you go through that, saying that, hey, can you guide me through this? Is this the right approach? Or we can consult somebody. You can reach out to me, or somebody else who's been doing marketing generally for various large mid-sized brands. Say, hey, can you guide me if this is the right approach? Then you need to weave a story around your brand, right? uh, it's it's very important that you create a story around your brand, and everything else will be a drop falling from that sponge. Every creative that you do will be a drop of water from that sponge, right? So whatever you look at in this slide is something that you need to define and say, मैं ये brand को कैसे represent करना चाहता हूँ. Once you define all of these things, right? This is my brand story. This is the kind of product that I'm trying to service. This is the kind of uh, audience I'm trying to service. Now, when I go step 2 and say that now let me start creating my brand logo, my brand assets, my banners, my designs, okay, my products, my if you set up a showroom, right? And you want to set up a showroom, then your experience in the showroom. If you create a website, then your experience on the website, your experience on the social media. If somebody's trying to call you to talk to you, how do you talk to them is all defined, right? If you're going to talk to a youth and say, hey, yo, what's up? I am going to tell you, what designs are good for you to wear in a college, versus if I'm talking to somebody who's very senior, like 40 plus lady, then I'll say, hello ma'am, how are you doing today? I will take you through what kind of designs are working well these days, and I will show you, the best design possible for your occasion or something like that. The two different language. Now, when you talk about this two different language, you cannot mix it, right? You cannot talk to a 40-year-old lady and say that, hey, what's up? Can I tell you what are the cool designs to wear for you today? No, you can't, right? Versus, if you go and tell a 18, 20-year college going girl that, hey, do you want to see this very heavy jewelry? And she'll be like, hey, no, this is not my type, right? And you will most likely fail, right? So all of this in a sync, right, will work for you to create your all marketing foundations. Go step 2 and say, hey, you defined all of these things. You know what your audience are, what your logos are, what your products are, what kind of customer experience are you going to give your guys with, right? Now comes like I'm setting up my shop now, assuming that we're setting up a shop virtually and not a physical store, right? And that's what everybody is doing nowadays, right? They want to set up a virtual shop and not physical store, because the cost investment in a virtual shop is much lower. And you believe it or no, but you can do a little bit of a research online that from uh, from olden times to now, like 10 years back to now, people are more comfortable buying jewelry online also, right? A lot of online jewelry shops, in different markets are doing really well, right? You have certified jewelry, and then people don't have to worry so much about, you know, if they're gonna be fooled and all of that, right? Plus consumer codes are more active now. People know where to go and talk about their problems and how to solve it. Now, when you look at website, there are a few key things that need to do for sure, right? So one of the most important thing whenever you try and create website is your mobile first website is the key to be in India, right? Almost all of us, okay, use more mobile than a desktop screen, right? Uh, your research of what do you want to buy happens most often on a mobile, and your purchase decision when you want to order something can happen either on mobile or desktop depending on the need, right? So if you're ordering grocery, you will not mind going to one of the apps where you're trying to order grocery and just add it and order it immediately because you know you've been doing that regularly. But if you're trying to buy a new product, right, you'll search on mobile, you read about it a little bit, then and especially expensive product, then you go on their website, you go through all the details, and then you finally take a decision that I want to buy this, right? And of course, at that point of before between first research to the last purchase decision, there'll be a lot of activities which will happen. You'll probably go and read reviews. You will probably go and look at five different brands and then decide what you want to do. But mobile is the key, right? And if you have your mobile which is website friendly, no, sorry, website which is mobile friendly, then everybody will be able to look at your product, and then they'll probably come on desktop and look at your product next, right? The second thing which is very important is whether you want to sell your product online or you want to just make a catalog. If you're going to be making a very expensive product, selling online may be slightly difficult unless it's a B2B kind of a setup. But otherwise you may want to create just a catalog website where you show your product and say, hey, you know what, these are the products, or you showcase your portfolio and say, this is my portfolio of the work that I've done, right? But uh, if you want, I can create something customized for you. You're not selling online, you're just saying that, hey, these are the products that you look at. But somebody who wants to do D2C will say, hey, I want to create products which are easy to buy, they're not very expensive. Somebody can come on the website, look at them, and say that, "Ha, ye मैं ले सकता हूँ. I want to take it. I order it with the or from the website immediately. Either pay by card or take EMI or whatever. But I can buy a 10, 20, 30,000 ka jewelry online, right? Or it could be uh, like both the option that order online, come to my store and pick it up or something like that. But when you're making a website, you need to first plan whether you want to sell it online or you want to just create a catalog, right? Uh, if your niche is going to be a certain type, then you should ideally go and create a catalog and not create an e-commerce website. If you're going to be creating a website, I mean, if your brand is going to service more youth and low range of the cost of real jewelry, then you may want to go for a D2C kind of a setup and create an e-commerce website, right? Very important thing when you go to create a website is your category specifically, okay, uh, is not driven by the design around the product. It's driven by the product, right? So most cases, what you need to do is you need to create a very minimalistic look on the website. If you look at this website on the left, they don't have a lot of design element, right? If if you look at this website, they don't have a lot of design element. The only design element is this women's image, right? Now this women's image is not a design, it's a banner, and that banner is replaceable, right? But on the website there are no designs, there are no colors, right? I'm not saying that you need to be so bland, but your element of the design comes from the product photos and the pops, right, of the product, right? To focus on keeping your design minimalistic. You don't need to go for a very expensive designer. What you need to go for is a very good website, very minimalistic website, and focus on your product, right? But of course, you need to match your design with your brand personality. If your logo is defined in a certain color, your website needs to look in that color. Your website should also appear the way you've defined your brand personality, right? So if your brand personality is going to be you, then the color combination on the website and the products that you show on the website has to be relevant to that and not to the other side. If you're trying to make your website reach out to the premium audience, then your website should look like that, right? So whether your website looks like cool or whether your website looks very very elegant, is something that you need to predefine, right? So while you create a website, either you pick up ready designs which match your requirement, or get a designer to customize your design in a way that it matches your brand personality. But on the either side, you try to keep it very minimalistic in its nature, right? Your focus has to be the next point, right, which is the most important point here, right? You focus on high quality visuals that you get of your product, right? Your product description has to be very sharp, very compelling. But also the language and the tonality has to match your brand personality and the target audience, right? You need to not miss on tools that build trust. Okay, this is one of the most important things. There are few tools that you use on your website to build trust. Uh, Two most important tools that you talk about is one is customers testimonials or experiences, right? If I look at somebody else who's like me and says that, hey, I purchased a product from this brand and it's really cool and I'm very happy about it. I purchased a product from them and it really changed my life, and my daughter's wedding went really well and everybody praised my jewelry set that I purchased from this guys, is going to make a difference to the person who's going to make a decision in buying a product from you. Somebody who visits your website will look at that and say, hey, if it's a good experience for somebody else, it will be a good experience for me. While I'm saying that, it's very important for you to make sure that you don't put fake testimonials. Okay. If you put fake testimonials and God forbid somebody identifies that, hey, this testimonial is not real, it will not reflect very good on your brand. It's not like if you create a testimonial with for your relative or somebody, it's not something that people can catch, right? Somebody will find it out, somebody will put it across on social media that this guy is fake. And if you have good product, right, somebody will experiment with you, buy your product, and then you take testimonials from them. But build trust using real truth testimonial that you are able to get from somebody. Like the other thing that you need to sort of do to build trust is, if you have quality certifications, if you have associations membership, if you have something which says that, hey, I am part of this setup, and I will not be giving you products which are substandard, right? Large corporates will do ISO certifications or something like that. They will say, hey, I'm member of association of so and so market, and hence I will ensure that I will give you good quality product or something like that, right? So there may be many things that you can do, talk about, which says that, hey, you can trust me because I'm so and so. Multiple people rating your website and your products could help, right? The other thing which is very important on the website is convenient contact and support, right? So somebody should have your contact details, your office address, contact form, phone number, support phone number, a complaint form, chat bot access, as many things as possible for you to use well and respond to quickly should be available. Once somebody reaches out to you, you need to ensure that you are able to maintain a turnaround time on your response. Right? If somebody reaches out to say that, hey, I want to talk to you to understand what kind of product should I use for my wedding, you should be able to get back to that person within like 10, 12, 20 hours or whatever, 10, 12 hours working hours. and say that, hey, let's connect on so and so number. Or somebody says that I purchased the product from you, but there's a problem, and somebody reaches out to you through an email, you should be able to respond within 24 hours, right? Saying, hey, we hear from you that there's a problem. Uh, these are the ways you can reach out to me and connect with me, and either virtually I'll see this product, or you come to my store and so place, or you can send it through courier or whatever service medium that you may have. But you need to reach out to that person within 24 hours and say, hey, this is how I'm going to service your problem and solve your problem, because that's a very important experience that somebody needs to have. If you go back in time, like 20 years back, there were brands who will say, hey, I don't care about what happens after you buy the product. And you can be happy selling that product to 10 people, 20 people, 50 people and not service it. Right. It was a very different time when people didn't know what to do. They don't know. They did not want to go to consumer court and fight. Now the consumer court is in the hand of Twitter, right? Uh, if I buy a product from you and the product is not of the standard that I expected or you committed, right? I will go and rant on Twitter. Okay. I will go and rant on Facebook and comment everywhere on all your posts saying that, hey, you know what, your product is very pathetic. I will go and give review to you on all digital platforms saying that very bad brand and you shouldn't be buying from that. A lot of people before buying do this research whether this brand is good, bad, ugly. Are there any complaints, right? So you will some of you must have done this, right? Before buying a product, you go and search for problems in so and so product, problems or complaints on so and so product, right? That's what a lot of evolved users do. Especially youth will definitely do that, right? And then go and talk to like 10, 50, 100 people. Yeah, this brand is really pathetic. You shouldn't be buying from this brand ever. I tell you, my experience was so bad. That's the worst thing for a brand to happen. However, there may be people who fake this, right? Just to take advantage of a situation. But that's not something that you can do a lot about, right? But but for your genuine customers, you need to be able to ensure that you service them well. Right? So these are key things that you look at. When you're building a website, there are few tools, few places where you can go to make website, right? This Here are the list. I'll just go to individual and tell you the advantage and disadvantage of each of them, right? So WordPress is one of my most favorite tool to recommend to anybody, right? It's a very customizable platform. WordPress itself is free, right? So you don't have to pay anything for using the software that makes this website. Mm. There is a plugin called WooCommerce, which which is also free plugin, which allows you to make this website into an e-commerce website. So you can build a website on WordPress. Tomorrow you decide to make it into e-commerce website. You can add WooCommerce and make it into a e-commerce website. Now, while WordPress is free, you need to buy your website domain name, the address on which somebody goes to, right? If it is jeweler abc.com, right? So you need to buy that, which in any case, wherever you make your website, you'll have to pay for. And then you need to buy a website hosting service where you can install WordPress. Most of the hosting services will be able to host WordPress.
Mihir, sorry to interrupt. Can you tell why WordPress and plugin? What is the difference between the WooCommerce and WordPress? Because most of them don't know that WordPress and why we should. What is a e-commerce and what is a website? So they think we have website means we can sell directly. But without the e-commerce payment channel, that thing, can you a little bit express some more on it?
Sure. So I'll just go through quickly basic introduction of WordPress, and then I'll go there back to explaining those things in detail, right?
Okay.
So you can Google website hosting service, right? And just look at few of them, find the review. You're gonna do the same thing that everybody else does, right? Find out whether this website service is good. Do they give good service? If I have a problem, will they answer my queries on time? Can I call them 24/7? What are the charges, right? So these are few things that you look at and decide whether you want to go for hosting with one service. But almost all service, right? A website hosting can cost you as low as uh 300 rupees a month to as high as $3 million a month, right? Depending on how big the website is, right? So a website like a Flipkart will cost you a much more money, right? When you have so many people coming to your website every day and you need you need your website to be fast and servicing so many millions of people visiting every day, then you'll have to pay very heavy money. But for a starter, you can start with a basic website plan. And then if you feel that your website is slowing down and you have too many users coming to your website, you have enough business and you want to upgrade your server, then most of the server companies will allow you to upgrade gradually to next level, next level, next level by paying extra money every month, right? Also, you need to buy a security certificate generally for the website, which says that this website is secure and it ensures that all the data that transacts between user's browser and the web server is secure. So if you go to any website which does not have a security certificate, your browser like Chrome and Opera and all of that will give you a warning, or sometime will not let you go to that website, saying that this website is not secure. You should not go to this website. And all of you must have come across such situation where you go onto a website and browser says that it's not secure. Don't go there, right? Security certificates are also not very expensive. There are different range. It'll come from 3,000 rupees a year to 30,000 or 3 lakh rupees a year. They come with different features, right? So some of them which will cost you a very heavy price will come with insurance. What I mean is, if you buy a very heavy costing SSL, it will come with say $1 million, $2 million, $5 million insurance of if there is a data breach while the SSL transaction happens, then it will cover for the loss that consumer and you may have and pay for it from that insurance. While they come with that insurance, it may not mostly be required, right? Because security certificates are very difficult to breach through in most cases. Then now I'll go back to the question that we were discussing about, right? So one, when you talk about websites are of different type. One is website where you just give information or create a catalog and say, this is my catalog, these are my products, these are my portfolio, but you don't sell online. While you may have a website where you can say that I have a portfolio, you have a form where you can fill up an inquiry and I will call you and then I can come and meet you or you can come and meet me, right? That's a portfolio website. Whereas if you want to sell products online, right? So somebody comes to your website, they will look at the product, they will add it into the cart, pay online, and get it delivered home or come and pick it up from your store. That kind of setup is an e-commerce setup. Now, the first platform that we're looking at, WordPress. WordPress is a software which allows you to make website. It creates foundation of the website, but it is a very flexible platform. What I mean is uh it's like boxes keeping on each other to make website into what you want, right? So WordPress, when you install WordPress, it comes as a plain simple design with some dummy content. And then you can say, hey, I want to make this website look better. You can go and search for designs for WordPress online. You will find a lot of templates of design across the world. Right? There are some of them which will come for free, some of them will come for a cost. It can be as low as $0 to $100 $200 for the template that you want to buy. You're free to choose the template that you like. It's probably one-time investment or an annual investment. Some templates will come with annual renewal charge and all of that. So you need to look at some of those things and then decide what kind of design do I put in WordPress. But the WordPress comes with a simple, straight design. Now, WordPress is not a platform which is made for jewelry. It's not a website which platform which is made for e-commerce. It's a foundation platform, right? So you can make anything and everything out of that. You can make a automobile website to a news website to a education portal to a jewelry site to a like a movie site or whatever, right? But for everything that you want to do on that web on WordPress, you need to add a certain feature. Those features comes either as template or as plugin. Right? Templates are the design features in most cases, and plugins are enhancing the ability of WordPress to do something different. So WooCommerce is one of such plugin, right, which allows you to add e-commerce functionality to WordPress. Now, WooCommerce itself may not be sufficient to do everything. Right? For example, if you take WooCommerce and you want your payment to come from Paytm, then you need to figure out a plugin for WooCommerce which will allow you to receive a payment through Paytm, right? So it's plug and play. There are a lot of plug and play features like that available, right? So you say, hey, I got WordPress, now I install WooCommerce, I define what kind of products do I have, what are the features in that. If you are making a website for clothes, then you will say, hey, I will have a t-shirt which will have 10 colors. I will define what kind of colors which will have. Then I will have different sizes, right? From extra small to extra large and extra large or whatever, right? So you'll define all of that. So every different business will have different definitions, right? In your case, you may say, I have one design, and I have that in silver, I have that in gold, I have that in white gold, I have that in platinum. But it's not necessary that all products will have all those functions and all those features. But you will have to define that I will have this different type of jewelry, I will have this different type of products, I will have this different type of colors, I'll have some of those things, and then by each product you will have to select whether that product will have different variations like colors or product types or things like that, right? So WooCommerce allows you to define all of that. It's a very customizable platform. Then on top of that, you will say, hey, I want to add a certain type of payment gateways on which people can make payment. There are thousands of payment gateways in the world. Some of them will come for free. What I mean by free is they will not charge you anything on a monthly recurring basis, but they will charge you per transaction, right? Some of them will come paid. They will charge you a fixed money every month to use their service, and they will also charge you a certain money for every transaction. The one which will come for free will probably charge you higher per transaction. The one which comes paid will charge you a little lower per transaction. For example, if somebody gives you a free payment gateway, they'll say, I will charge you 3% for every credit card transaction, versus the one which comes for paid will say, I will charge you 1.5 or 2% for every credit card transaction. This is an illustration number. I am not saying that's exactly what they charge, but most of them will charge you anything between 1% to 5% per transaction. That cost differs from different type of payment modes that you allow. Bank payment will cost you lower. Debit card payment will cost you similar to bank payment or slightly higher. Credit card transaction will cost you much higher. If your credit cards are American Express, then the cost will be much higher. If you're using an international credit card, then the payment will be far higher, right? So it's basically the costs which a vendor of the payment uh, service at the consumers end charge is what that platform will pass back to you along with certain margin. So when you make a payment through bank does not charge, right? So somebody payment gateway will charge you only little. But when you pay through American Express or some international credit card, you will have to pay 3, 4, 5% processing fees, right? And the margin for the payment gateway changes basis whether they are charging you certain fixed fee every month or no. And if they're charging you a certain fixed fee every month, they will also have slabs. So अगर आपसे वो लोग महीने का 25,000 ले रहे हैं या साल का 25,000 ले रहे हैं, तो वो लोग का slab lower slab में होगा. If they're charging you 2.5 to 3 lakh rupees a month, then maybe they will give you a much lower rate. When you have a certain commitment, right? If you know that you're gonna do a transaction worth $1 million a month, on your website, then you don't mind paying them 2-3 lakh rupees a month. They know that this kind of money is coming to you, because if you're paying 2-3 lakh rupees, you're gonna do $1 million worth transaction, and hence they still have a certain margin on every transaction. So they know that they're gonna make a lot more money, and hence they are okay with charging you low per transaction. Right. So so you need to add on top of WooCommerce a payment gateway, uh, hosting, domain name, security certificate. There are a lot of plugins available, right? So if you say that I want to change certain feature on my website, right? I want to show photos in a bigger visual area or a smaller area, and I want three products in the space when somebody comes to my website. When from a desktop, I want to show three products in one queue, and then another three product and another three product. You can add that feature. If you want to create a search feature on your website, if you want filter feature on your website by product type, price, variations, categories, you can add that feature on your website using WordPress and WooCommerce and some additional plugins, right? There are too many plugins available. There are some of them free, some of them are free to certain features usage or free for certain time, and some of them are premium, right? What I will recommend is, don't look at whether it's free or premium. Look at what feature do you want, how good the plugin is, how many people are using that, what is the reputation of the plugin, right? Because if you're gonna make an e-commerce website, you definitely need to ensure that you use a premium plugin, so that it's not allowing a lot of people to hack through the website, right? If free plugin is not serviced, right? If I'm providing a free plugin, I'm not getting anything out of that. So I don't care about whether there's somebody hacking your website through that plugin or no. And I am not responsible for servicing you, but premium plugin will come with a certain type of service, assurance. So you should try and use premium plugin wherever possible. Um, I'll quickly jump to the next one in here. Why is it stuck? Okay. Right. There are different services. If you go back here, I've listed down different services. Now, WordPress is something where it has a lot of flexibility, but it will also require you to use some technical service from somebody quite often. Well, if you want to completely skip that, there are 3 or 4 different service providers that I'm suggesting here. While I'm suggesting them, that's not end of the world. There are hundreds of them in the world. You can, once you know Wix or Shopify or Squarespace, you can find somebody else who's similar to that, and look at them. While the reason why Wix or Shopify or Squarespace are listed here are because they are large, right? I don't know if some of you read newspaper. Yesterday, Google decided Google and Squarespace got into a transaction where Google has a large portfolio of 1 million domains posted by people. So Google also offers a website creation service, and sells domain name. So Google decided to sell that portfolio to Squarespace for about 160 or $180 million. Right. So if you look at a website like that, which is able to buy Google's portfolio of $180 million, it's large. Right. That's the reason why this 3-4 services are here. Not like these are the ones you should go with, right? But these are good ones. So if I don't get into detail of each one of them to save some time for you, Wix, Shopify, Squarespace, all of them are services as solution online. You go to their website, register using your email address, phone number, define what domain name you want. They will also help you buy domain name, or you can buy domain name from GoDaddy or somebody and tell them that, hey, this is my domain name. They will tell you how to configure your domain name on GoDaddy or wherever you purchase from. You just have to go and write copy paste 1, 2, 3 things on that site and say that now my domain name is going to work with Wix or Shopify or Squarespace. Once you define that your website, when you go to that domain name, it will take you to Wix or Shopify or Squarespace. It's very simple. The tutorial will be available with each of them as to how to define your domain name. Most of them will have how to configure your domain name on all the large domain providers in the world, right? They will not stop at saying how do you define it on GoDaddy. It will say that I will tell you how to do it on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They'll have tutorials available. Now Wix is very popular website builder. It's very user friendly. You just have to select a template, go step 2, drag and drop what you want to wear, and it will allow you to customize and create how your website should look like. You don't need to know coding. Okay, absolutely no need to know coding. It also has an e-commerce feature. It will allow you to create a e-commerce website. However, it is not the best e-commerce platform, right? It's a good catalog platform with e-commerce features, right? They have a free plan and paid plan. Most likely, if you want to run a business, go for a paid plan. If you just want a catalog and you are saying that I'm a designer, I am just trying to create my personal portfolio so that everybody knows these are the type of designs I have created, then you can go for a free plan. At some point of time, you will still want to switch to a paid plan. Uh, but they're not very expensive. Right? It's meant for small businesses to mid-sized businesses. It's not meant for large businesses. uh, and then there is another website called Shopify is a e-commerce first platform. It can help you create website for any category, any type of product that you want to sell. आपको किराना बेचना है, you want to sell jewelry, do you want to sell clothes, do you want to sell specs, or whatever you want to sell, you can create a website on Shopify. It's not a catalog design website, it's a e-commerce website platform first. They will have also a lot of customizable templates. So you go to Shopify, you click on register with your email address, phone number, give your business details, upload your logo, select the template, select a payment gateway, configure your payment gateway, and some of them will have tie-up with payment gateways. So you may get a payment gateway at low costs on the spot, right, from their interface. You don't need to go and register with a payment gateway on your own. They will also allow you to do inventory management. What I mean by inventory management is, if you say that you are in a business of ready to buy product, like in e-commerce, if you're selling products which people can come and buy automatically, they cannot be a situation where you say that somebody buys the product and then I call up and say that I don't have that product in stock. Right? So you will have to define a product and say that I have so many products in stock to sell on this website, right? And that remains in stock for that website. If you say that I have a particular design of, say this pendant, right? I have 5 pieces of that pendant. So in the back end of Shopify, you say I have 5 of this piece. And then when somebody buys one from you, it will make it into 4 in their inventory system, right? And so on and so forth. Now, if you have different products in different size or different colors, you can also define that I have this product in this size 5, this size 4, this size 1. As soon as that one product goes out, it will say this product is out of stock. You want to ensure that you have that inventory and that inventory reflects your actual physical inventory in most cases, so that consumers don't have bad experience. Otherwise, if you buy a product and you're not able to ship it immediately, consumer will have bad experience. Fortunately, unfortunately, in today's era, we are in a situation where you order something, you want it to be delivered immediately. Like मुझे आज अभी order किया, 1 घंटे में घर पे चाहिए, right? या 1 दिन में चाहिए या 2 दिन में चाहिए. Unless it's a make to order kind of a setup. If it's a make to order kind of a setup, you need to mention it very clearly on your website. And you purchase this, I will start making it and then I will ship it. If it's personalized product, it's always made to order. You're gonna say that a pendant and I can write my name on that and then you will ship it. It's going to take 15-20 days. It's perfectly fine. But if it's pendant where I cannot write my name, ideally consumer will expect it to be shipped immediately. Unless you mention it very clearly that this is going to get delivered to you in 15 days and not immediately. Shopify is unfortunately not free, right? So you cannot create a website for free and be on Shopify, but it's not very costly. It will have different type of plans, right? From how many consumers do you expect on a website? You can start with a plan. If you say start with a plan for 1,000 visitors a month website, a kind of a plan, and your website reaches 900 or whatever, they'll send you an email and SMS and tell you that, hey, you know what, you need to upgrade your plan very soon. Otherwise, at some point of time, somebody will not be able to see your website. But they will remind you and they will ensure that you upgrade your website to the next level very soon. Squarespace is very similar to the previous one, Wix, where you can create a nice website, select a design, drag and drop things. It will also offer you an e-commerce website option. Right. While I'm saying these three are good, you can pick and choose any one of them. If you want to definitely go for e-commerce, then try and pick Shopify. It works really well for everybody in the world. There are multiple competitor like of Shopify in the world, and you can pick and choose one of those also. The Indian versions of that also available, right, from different vendors. Then there's another platform called Adobe Portfolio. Adobe is basically uh, a very famous design software company. They've created a service like this where you can create a platform for your portfolio. Originally, it is meant for designers who use Adobe platform to showcase their work. But you can, while it's about showcasing the work of a designer, whether it is a photographer or a graphic designer or a jewelry designer, is the same thing. If you want to make a portfolio website, you can use Adobe. The only advantage that you will have in this case is it's a very, very simple interface, right? You don't have not required features like e-commerce which you need to enable, disable or whatever, right? And it's a designer's showcase uh, platform, right? So for you to showcase your portfolio, it will have really good templates to pick up from, right? It will make life simple if you're gonna say that you're gonna create, like for example, somebody mentioned that she wants to create designs using CAD and change the way people look at designs. To create designs using CAD and a render of that can go through Adobe's. If you're using Adobe Creative Solution for creating a render, then just push it through that solution directly onto your website. You don't have to export it, make it into an image and push it to Adobe Portfolio. I'm not sure what platform do you use to create designs for jewelry, but if it is a Adobe suite, then you can do that. Now, in my understanding, there are only 2 or 3 companies in the world which allows you to create different type of CAD designs. One of them will be Adobe, and the other one will be yeah, I mean, sorry, I'm not sure as to what solution to use. I just skipped that part. But Adobe is a very good portfolio creation platform. Do you guys have any questions so far?
Any questions or queries, or you want to know something specific so that we can address only that? Mir, can we quickly go to like different platforms? Like it is too much of website which they don't have anything in their
Yeah.
mind. They can
Okay.
go for like
Yeah. This is the
Instagram or
light. Yeah. This is the last thing on website. This is the last slide on website. Then I won't talk about. The last option that you have on website is to create a custom website, right? Custom website is not something that I will recommend for a medium or small size business, right? Because it requires a lot of development time, a lot of cost. Maintenance charges are very high for updating anything. Just 1 second. Hello. Hi sir. हाँ मैंने सुबह sorry. So so custom websites require you to invest a lot of time, energy, development time, cost, maintenance cost is very high. Uh, technology may change and that website will become difficult to maintain and manage and update. Every time you want to develop or design, I mean, you need a new feature on the website, you'll have to go back to the development agency. They'll take uh, time to come back and tell you what kind of cost and time. Then they'll get into the development after you approve the cost. It'll take a lot of time. While all the rest of the platforms that we looked at are very easy, very quick to start your website, right? There's a fixed recurring cost and it will have some limitations, right? It will not be very customizable as a custom development website will be. It may not have the scalability. You may not be able to make a Flipkart kind of a website where you have a million people simultaneously on your website and buying something, right? For all those kind of strengths, you want to go for a custom website. I don't recommend you to look at custom website for time to come in recent, in near future. But you should know that hey, that option's available, and the advantages are great, but disadvantages are big. One of the most important advantages is security. When you make a custom website, your website is generally a lot more secure versus a public platform that you've used. Right? For example, when you use WordPress, WordPress uses a certain code and certain plugins that are available to hackers also to look at. They can find out a hack in WordPress and start hacking every website which is using that feature. While WordPress and their plugin developers will come with a solution very quickly, but in the meanwhile, your website could become a victim of that hack, right? There are solutions, technology providers who are available to ensure that your website is not hacked very easily. But when it is a public website, it's very easy to hack. While if it's your custom developed website, nobody knows what's gone into the code, and hence it will be very difficult for them to hack it. Right? Uh, yeah. So I'll go ahead, I'll move on from website and go to what do you do on social media. So if I to tell you, right, there are hundreds of social media platforms in this world, right? I'm sure some of you may be using Snapchat or something like that, right? There are hundreds of different social media platforms for different countries, for different markets. Within India, there may be hundred of different social media platforms that people use, right? Some of them will be regional specific, some of them will be language specific, some of them will be, the target audience specific, but the large one which have large population covered and in suitable for some type of businesses will be and most type of businesses will be Instagram, Facebook, Pinterest, YouTube, LinkedIn, and of course you can create your own blog, right? uh, Now, when you go for social media marketing, there are two options that you have. One, you say that I will go to all 100 social media platforms and create my portfolio, showcase my products. Or you'll say that, hey, I will restrict myself to 3 or 4 or 5 social media platforms, but I will ensure that I have very strong presence there. Right? Every social media platform that you go to comes with its own challenges. They have different type of designs, dimensions of the designs required. then you need to build relationship with your consumer on that social media platform. If you focus on 2 or 3 social media platform, you will be able to create enough traction for yourself rather than going thin and working with hundreds of social media platforms. What you also need to ensure is you analyze your social media platform to understand if they're working for you or no, if people are engaging with you or no. There are 2 things which can happen, right? One, either you are not on the right social media platform, or you're not delivering the right message, or you're not trying to engage with the right audience, and it will fail for you. So you need to ensure that you keep checking whether a certain type of post, certain type of communication on certain type of platforms are working for you or no, and keep changing, trying different things to see where you are starting to get good amount of engagement on your social media platforms. Now, I'll quickly tell you, Instagram is one of the most important platforms generally for the category that you are in, right? Because the category that you are in has to talk visually to the consumer, show the designs that you have built, show people that you're wearing that product. You can create images, like you can take photographs and share it, you can take videos and share it, you can make video out of images and share it on Instagram. Few things that you need to look at is, if I'm sharing a post, what kind of hashtag do I have with my post so that user can discover my product, right? And you need to start engaging with users back, saying that if you have a consumer that who's purchased a product from you, you need to put a post, tag that person. That person will put up a post with your jewelry, say, hey, I looked at your photo, and this jewelry piece made by this, my brand is looking really nice on you, congratulations, or something like that. You start engaging so that a lot of different people see your posts or their post and start following you, right? It's very important for you to start building follower, but genuine follower, right? You will see a lot of people coming to you. Once you register a business, once you have a website, a lot of people will start sending you message or your Instagram inbox message saying that, hey, do you want followers? I can get you 10,000 followers for 20,000 rupees, 30,000 rupees. Don't fall for any of those. They are fake followers, right? While if you buy 10,000 followers for 30,000 rupees, it will look really nice. And I have 10,000 followers on my Instagram, but they're fake, so they're not gonna engage with your post. One, if I have 10,000 followers and none of them are engaging with my post, then everybody knows that they are fake followers, right? It's not gonna bring any business value to you. Three, at some point of time, Instagram or Facebook or LinkedIn identifies fake users, and they remove them from being in existence on those platforms, because they don't want to waste their server space, storage space, energy on those fake users, right? So they keep removing them, and those 10,000 of 10,000 may get wiped out at some point of time in your life. It can happen in 10 days, it can happen in a year, but it's going to happen at some point of time. So don't fall for any of those. Just create real engagement with some of your consumers and friends, and then gradually you'll start building follower base, which is genuine follower. Instagram also allows you to, give links to your shopping platform, in your main profile link. So you should use that for sure. Um, Excuse me, just once again, I need to drink water. To use Instagram for sure, the key on this platform is great images. Rather, any platform is going to be great images for your category. uh, Facebook is a very versatile platform that works for all age groups, from youngsters who just in the college to like 70-year-old. It'll work for all of those TGs. Again, here, photographs and videos is going to be the key. I'll come to what kind of content should you create and place on social media platform a little later. I'm just trying to set context of which platforms are great for you and why, right? Uh, Facebook, while I said is a very broad platform, it also has advertising options. So you can reach out to a certain target audience through advertising platform. Once you create your page and you start posting content, uh, both Instagram and Facebook also allows you to run campaigns to build followers. You can reach out to real users of a certain geography, of certain type, certain age group, certain behavior patterns, certain interests, um, and run campaigns to build followers. Then Pinterest is basically a platform which is built for visual, research, right? So you can be present on Pinterest while it's not necessary for people who are in India, because Pinterest is not as big in India as Facebook and Instagram are. But if you want to try and be in different markets, then you may want to use Pinterest for sure for your showcasing your content, right? It's where you can create boards and of different type and show different type of content, different type of products in different boards. It's similar to creating a catalog of a sort, but interacting one. It will allow you to talk to your consumers. Consumers will be able to share it on their own boards. It's a nice platform to be at. A little complicated than Facebook. Uh, you know, if you have if you have videos to talk about, then you go to YouTube. If you want to create a video of somebody wearing your product and take a testimonial and put it up, YouTube is the best place, because um, Facebook, LinkedIn, or Instagram will allow you shorter videos. YouTube will allow you longer videos. Um, if you want longer videos to be on YouTube and you want to create a shorter version of that and put it on Facebook or Instagram, you could, and link it back to YouTube, where people can come and see the full video. Mm, and show your collection. If you have an exhibition, you can take a video of the exhibition and show it. Making a jewelry design, you can take a video of that as a behind the scene footage and show it. If you creating a product, piece by piece, you can take a video of that and show it. Right. It's a great platform to show your content. YouTube also has shorts. So if you have a short video, you can show on YouTube shorts. But YouTube is primarily a platform that you want to consider for a longer video to begin with. Right.
Uh,
YouTube is where your
Mihir, can
audience.
I interrupt for a while? So
Sure,
some
sure.
student has written question in the chat. Can you go through
Yeah,
it once?
yeah.
So he's asking about the blue tick credibility for business, and he's even asking for the custom website goes on the back where WordPress does like.
Okay. All right. I just saw two, three questions. Billing and
Yeah.
cargo, can you please explain? This is probably a question for e-commerce website, right? So if you make a website on WordPress or any other platform, they will allow you to do a transaction through a payment gateway. They will allow you to define your tax rates and tax definitions for every country. Um, then they will also allow you to either use predefined delivery vendors, or they will allow you to plug and play with your delivery vendors, right? So if you were to use delivery as a delivery company, uh, or if you want to use Blue Dart as a delivery company, you can connect that. As soon as you have an order, you process, you got the payment, and your backend, you say yes, this order's come and I am ready to ship it. It will be able to tell delivery company to pick it up. You will be able to print a delivery note, sticker, address sticker, and all of that, from the website, and pack your thing in the box and put that sticker. So those website will allow you to print all of those things directly right from there, right, with all the information. So you don't have to manually do it at large scale. If you were to deliver couple of 100 products a day. Okay. Then you will require a service which prints everything automatically. Order आया अपने आप print हो गया. Okay, and then you just take it and ship it ready. It's ready to ship, kind of a thing. Then those things are available, and your delivery company will come and pick it up from your store. Whatever go down a store that you want them to pick it up from. Right. The only thing is you need to establish a relationship with a delivery company and configure that on your website. Yeah. Then the next question is the custom action. The cost for custom website goes up in packs, whereas WordPress website can be done. No, so yeah, custom websites are very, very expensive. It will come with its own advantages. If you were to make a Flipkart, right? If you wanted to make a Netflix, you cannot make it on WordPress. WordPress cannot handle 2-3 million concurrent users. This answer is for Shubham. You cannot have 2-3 million people on your website simultaneously and using a WordPress in the backend. While I'm saying that, if you go in Google and search for this, you will find certain solutions which says with this and this solution, you can use WordPress in the backend to have 2 million, 3 million simultaneous users on the website. But those solutions essentially mean that you are custom developing something to work with WordPress. Okay, it's slightly complicated, right? WordPress website can be done from 20,000 to 80,000 in India. In some places, if you want a really good developer, they may charge you up to 10-15 lakh rupees also to work with WordPress. If you're in a developed market, people will charge you upwards of 50 lakh rupees also to work on WordPress. The cost of getting the website done is not prefixed. It depends on the kind of developer you work with. If there was a freelancer, he may do it for 10,000 rupees for you. He may do it for free also, right? But it's somebody who understands that product and is able to customize it right for you, use the right plugin for you. It may cost you more than 80,000 to 1 lakh for sure. And if you want to get a good WordPress website done, with a decent feature, then you will have to keep a cost range of 1 lakh to 5 lakh rupees generally, minimum. With a very good developer, it may go up to 25 lakh rupees. The recommendation is try and use Shopify or something if you can. Don't go for WordPress. While I will prefer to use WordPress, but then I need you to have the knowledge of WordPress, or you need to have somebody in your team who knows WordPress very well. Okay. Now anyone can buy blue tick on Insta. What do you think? Buying a blue tick give business more credibility? Yeah, generally what blue tick means is somebody is verified, right? And it's not fake. If you are in a business where there are a lot of people who creates fake profiles similar to your brand, then you need that for sure. But otherwise, blue tick is not going to give you a great advantage anymore as it used to give before. 2-4 हजार रुपए में कोई भी ले सकता है, तो what's a big deal? In earlier time, blue tick was when you say that I am a big brand, I am a big personality, and I want that blue tick so that the parody ones, the fake ones, are not getting advantage, right? अगर आप बड़ा brand हो, तो आपको blue tick चाहिए, okay, so that fake ones are not to be seen as real. Yep. Now it's very easy. I can be fake and I can, if you are say Nike and you have a blue tick, I can create name which is NLKE, register a company on that name, and go and say, give me a blue tick, and they will have to give me a blue tick saying that I'm NLKE, a software company, and then tomorrow I start selling shoes. They can't stop me then, right? Because they've just given me blue tick after verifying myself. It's not such a big advantage. But yes, of course, once you set up a business, you establish, you want to have a blue tick, you please go ahead for that. That's not so costly anymore. Yeah, but it's not like a great advantage as it used to be before. LinkedIn is a good platform. You may want to use LinkedIn for being present there, creating a B2B relationship most cases, talking to people in the industry, making friends with people in the industry. But it may not be the platform where you will be able to get a lot of business. While I'm not saying that you cannot get business from that platform, but that's not primary objective that I understand for your category. For other categories, they may get a lot of business from LinkedIn. I'm not sure if it will work for your category so much. Uh, but yeah, you can be part of a lot of groups, discussing a lot of things, learning a lot of things from people in the industry, sharing your leadership content at some point of time when you feel that you are ready to do that. Once you feel that you spend enough time in the industry, understand business, you've grown enough, you're big enough to tell your industry how to go about doing some things. Please share your experience. Right? Blog is, like blog is something that you can always create. It's your own space uh, where you can create and share content, stories, videos, images, whatever you want. Right? A lot of options that you can talk about on your blog. When we go to content creation in the next few slides, you can look at some of those and say, hey, I want to create blog and I will put it up. Right? But blog is more text driven than visual driven. Blog is less of image and video, it's more of text. Okay. This video or images के लिए आपके पास social platforms काफी है. Okay. One thing which you need to do, when you want to start creating social media strategy is you need to define your calendar saying that on a certain day, on so and so platform, I will have a piece of content going. एक ऐसा calendar print करो, उस पे लिखो कि क्या क्या करोगे. You basically need to ensure that you're disciplined to do, 2 posts a week, 3 posts a week on each of those platforms, and you consistently do that. Otherwise, you will be very random, right? As a user of that social media platform, you and I can be random, but if you are a business, you need to have maintain a certain consistency so that you keep engaging with your consumers, you keep building your follower base, and people don't think that you are non-active and they stop following you, right? While you do this, your calendar cannot be salesy. What I mean is you cannot be going and saying that, hey, this is my product, please buy it. Okay. Every time when somebody comes to sell that to you and you say no to it, uh, when you get a call from somebody, sir, do you want to buy this? You know that person, you purchase something from that person, but he keeps calling you every 10 days saying that, sir, do you want to buy this again? Do you want to buy this different thing? At some point of time, 3, 4, 5 calls, you'll get annoyed and say, block him. Okay. And you go and block him, block his number. Right? And send him a message saying that if you have something to talk to me, please send me a WhatsApp message. Okay. That's what will happen with you on social media if you keep selling every time. So you don't need to keep selling. There's some message on chat. I know. Yeah, social media strategy is a little tough one, but I don't think it's very tough. It's very simple. If you understand who your consumers are, what category do you want to service, what kind of brand do you are, what is your personality, then it's very simple. I'll give you some solutions in the next slide of what should you do. Right? Now, you don't need to build a weekly calendar. You can also build a monthly calendar and say that on a monthly basis, weekly मैं 3 posts हर platform पे डालूंगा, but I will build my calendar for a month. Right? Some of the things you may do once in a month, some of the things you may want to do, twice in a week or whatever. So some of the things that you can do is product photo and video, straight jacketed, sales. मेरा ये product है, खरीदना है, मेरे पास आओ. Okay. The other thing which you can do is behind the scene. Okay. The other thing is you talk about styling. Right. You are in a product category which is used for styling most often, right? It's styling jewelry के बिना खत्म ही कहाँ होता है. Right? Then testimonials, then topical themes, knowledge sharing, and sometimes contests or some giveaways. Okay. And not take a lot of time of you here. I will quickly tell you, that these are the best things to do. And then you can ask me questions and I will try to answer those, right? So what you need is a really good product photo, okay, and product video to share on social media platform. You don't need to have a lot of content besides your brand name and one small tagline to go ahead with, right? You may want to try and say that this is limited, this is exclusive piece, only one piece available, only 10 piece available, this is on offer or whatever, but not too much besides that, right? Just show your product, either only the product or product on a model, and go ahead with that, right? You may want to show how your product is designed, developed, or made, or something like that, right? And like show that once in a while. Now, I'm not saying that you need to do this every week. I'm not saying that you need to do behind the scene every week, but one product you can keep showing in different lights, different models, or different way, at different amount of time. Behind the scene once in a while, inspirational styling with your product for different type of audience, um, is something that you can show, right? So, a lot of people do is they create styling with a certain brand of clothes. Okay. अगर आप लेफ्ट वाला इमेज छोड़ दो, जो शादी के या ट्रेडिशनल इंडिया वाला कपड़े का है, अगर आप थोड़ा यंगर साइड में आ जाओ, उससे कि यार मैं यंग ऑडियंस के लिए फास्ट मूविंग रियल ज्वेलरी बना रहा हूँ, you say what do they wear, what kind of brands do they prefer, which are the aspirational brands they prefer. So you will probably able to start creating a portrait of a person wearing those kind of brands and your jewelry, and say, hey, you know what, this is a styling tip, this is the cloth that you can wear, this kind of shirt and this kind of pant from this brand is a really good one, okay, for you to wear with my so and so necklace. Okay, it's a cool thing to do. It's very simple, straight jacketed, for you to be able to create so many of this kind of content with some one nice design. You can create 10 different styling ideas. अलग अलग ओकेशन के लिए आप ये पहन सकते हो, इवनिंग वेयर के लिए आप ये पहन सकते हो, अगर ऑफिस में जाओगे ये नेकलेस के साथ में ये कपड़े पहनो, आप किसी की शादी में जाओगे तो ये नेकलेस के साथ में ये कपड़े पहनो, or something like that. So tag the boutique. You have styling ideas. You can work with the boutique also and say, hey, can I borrow your clothes and show my product and your product together and put it up on social media? They'll be happy to have you share their product, unless you're talking about like a really big guy who's out of your reach. Then it's a different thing. Otherwise, it'll work out very well for two people at the similar level with similar TGs. You need to identify a partner who you can work with as a boutique. You share their clothes and you share your jewelry and things like that. Otherwise, just buy out some things from some stores and share it. Right? But tag the brand, tag the shop. Yeah. Then testimonial is a very simple thing. You don't need explanation of why you need a testimonial. Testimonial is the thing which says that this brand is worth trusting. right? A real user sharing their own experience in their own word without the jazz of communication, advertising that you do is what's going to work for users. You don't try and make a testimonial yourself for your consumer. Don't write a testimonial on behalf of your consumer. उन्होंने अपने भाषा में जिस तरह से वो बोला है उसको उतना ही रियलिस्टिक रख के आप जब शेयर करोगे, okay, you will have a lot of advantage, right? Because I will be able to connect with that user better with their own language rather than with a fancy language that a creative writer has written. You may have, um, no reason to talk about Republic Day, for example, but it's not a bad idea to say Happy Republic Day with some design, or and of course, Valentine Day is something that almost all jewelry brand will want to talk about. But these are topical, seasonal, holiday content pieces that you want. So when you build the whole calendar, right, you say that these are the days when there's some event happening, then I may want to put up a post around that. Now there are at least 500-600 days in the world: Mother's Day, Father's Day, Sister's Day, right? All of those, right? So you can look at the list uh, for them and say that these are the things that which will matter to me and I want to talk about them, and then put them in your calendar um, along with your product, right? Along with your behind the scene inspiration, styling, testimonials, right? But then define, मैं महीने में एक testimonial डालूंगा. Okay, in your calendar you have that. मैं महीने में एक testimonial डालूंगा. So you need to ensure that you get one testimonial. If you have 10 people who buying a product from you a month, you need to get one testimonial from that. But that becomes your discipline that एक testimonial हर महीने चाहिए. एक का दो हो गया problem नहीं है, but then you continue to have at least one every month, and then eventually at some point of time you will say, hey, I have 100 people buying from me every month. I need to have 2 or 3 or 4 testimonials every month. Okay, but you need to have that discipline from your side. Then eventually, when you grow up, you need to have that discipline from your marketing team. That हर महीने मेरे को 2 testimonial लाके दो. Knowledge sharing, product cleaning, jewelry making designs, history, all of that is something that you can always do. You know, that's something that's basically engaging your consumer on content which is not directly selling the product, but telling them, hey, like we are somebody who understand you, and you'll be able to reach out to people when they're searching for how to clean my uh, necklace, to how to do this, or when they're searching for some history or whatever, right? Randomly, or sharing content which is related to your industry but not directly selling your product. Of course, you can do contest or giveaway or something like that. you know it's a very you know uh, good way to engage with people, giving away not your jewelry piece but giving away a discount voucher, gift voucher, or something else, right? A movie ticket for a movie which is going to come out, or a tour to some place or whatever, can work really well for you. If you want to do that at scale very regularly, and you feel that, hey, I can go and talk to a vendor. For example, if you say that every week I'm going to give gift voucher which does not need somebody to buy my product, you can go to Amazon and buy their gift voucher for a discounted price. They offer that for B2B reasons. um, and then you can have people engaging with you. But remember, if your engagement has to happen and your gift vouchers or giveaways are going to go, try and not give something which will say that अरे यार मैं इसके साथ में engage कर रहा हूँ because मेरे को free में gift voucher मिल रहा है. As much as you are trying to do something which only your TG will try and get, then you will be in the good shoe. If you are going to sell expensive jewelry, और 1000 रुपए का गिफ्ट वाउचर या 500 रुपए का गिफ्ट वाउचर दोगे तो बच्चे लोग आके एंगेज करने वाले हैं, कोई बड़ा बंदा आके एंगेज नहीं करने वाला है, right? So you need to figure out with your contest and giveaway and be careful about what you do. Otherwise, you'll get audience which are not relevant to you very often. Okay. So these are good to get very high engagement. At the same time, they may not be great tool to attract the right TG very easily. Yeah. Anybody has any question on social media? I'm going to step two as a gemstone manufacturer, which can help me a lot. Yeah. Yeah. There are some platforms that you can use to make social media design. If I had to tell you the one single platform that you should use to make all your social media posts, then it has to be Canva. Okay. Canva is a premium designing platform. What I mean by premium is it's free, but it also has premium option. So if you go to Canva, register yourself for using Canva.
Can I interrupt? Like they have next class at 1 o'clock, so we have to.
Yeah. I just have another 5-10 minutes to take.
Okay. No.
So Canva is a free product. You can create a lot of great social media posts for every single type of social media that you want, platform that you want to create a content. They will have ready designs, ready templates there. You can pick up the ones which are nice, put your images, product images and videos and edit them and get it out. You can literally create a social media post in 5 minutes. It's a free platform. If you want to use some of the premium content on the platform, then you need to go either pay for the content or take a premium version. Premium version is not very expensive. I think it's about 5,000-6,000 rupees a year. Uh, but then you don't need a designer if you are good with creativity. Adobe Spark, Pinto Chart, Bytable, all are good platforms, but Canva will be one of the best platform to use. Very easy. You don't need to have knowledge of technicalities of designing so much. Right? You can create all type of posts. You can try all of them. Most of them will give you a free trial options and free to use options. Right? I'll quickly go to when you create a website, you need people to be able to search your website and come to your website through Google search. It's a very technical process to make your website Google friendly. You'll have to get a consultant to work with you on SEO expert to work with you on SEO. Fundamentally, you'll have to find out the keywords which users are searching for. You need to put those keywords in your content, not like putting the same keyword 20 times, 30 times in a page, but write content, usable content for user with that keyword in place, because user is searching for that. And if it's on your page, then Google will probably show your page there. And then you need to build referrals, as in somebody saying that this website is good to go to, right? So you may have, for example, if Times of India writes an article about you, Google will say, "Ha, yaar, ye website to sahi hai." Right? So you need to do a little bit of a digital PR, some bloggers to talk to you about. You may have an option to go to somebody's blog and write a guest blog on how to do something in your category, right? And then or partner with some of the influencers to talk about you and give a link to your website, right? There are two two key digital advertising platform that you need to look at. One is social media advertising, the other one is Google search advertising. Social media advertising by Facebook, Instagram can be used for building followers, for promoting your products, engagement, or selling your products. Okay, if you have an e-commerce website, you can create an ad which will take users to your website, and you can measure sales and revenue on your website. Google ads, you should ideally use to show ads to people who are searching for the relevant things, take them to your website and sell that product, or come and visit your store. Um, The type of ads that you look at is photo or video ads for social media, carousel ads for social media, text ads for Google search. Google search does not have any, photo, video, carousel ads for small businesses. Um, then the other thing which you can do is partner with influencers who are into about jewelry and let them talk about your brand, your product, experience with your product on social media. Okay. Then once you do all of this and you make website, you want to measure what's happening on your website. So use analytical tool like Google Analytics or Facebook Analytics, ideally both of them at the same time, to identify who's coming to your website, what are they doing on your website, are they buying your product or not buying your product, when are they going off your website, so that you can fix it. This is also quite technical. If you wanted to honestly understand digital advertising or digital analytics, they are subject in itself, right? Somebody will have to take like 8-10 days of full 8 hour session to explain you how to you use them. But these are critical things that you need to do, when you start your business. There are a lot of things that Google Analytics or Facebook Analytics can tell you, but few important things is who your users are, what are they doing on your website, they're buying or not buying your product, where are they dropping off, is something that you need to definitely get from those platforms, right? You remember we spoke about somebody going and complaining about you on social media. You need to be able to manage that as a business. You need to, one, be very prompt in response. You need to be empathic, professional, courteous, and solution oriented in your language. You cannot be saying, "Arey, jo karna hai, kar le." You know who my father is. You can't be using that language. You have to say, "Sorry, sir. Can I help you, sir? I will definitely find a solution for you. I will give you a solution. We'll replace it. We'll fix it. We'll solve your problem," or whatever, right? But very courteous language. Okay. You need to figure out a way to reach out to your consumer and say that, can you please give me a review on social media, positive review on social media. If 5 out of 10 consumers write positive review and somebody will randomly come and write a negative review about you, it will cover up, right? Because you have 5 good reviews and 1 bad review. Right. Sometimes some people will write bad review just like that, just to be hurting your business, even if they are not your consumer, but you cannot ignore it. You need to respond to them saying that, hey, if you purchase a product from me, please share the details. Can I help you solve your problem? I reached out to you, but you are not able to come to my office to give me the product so that I can fix it. How can I help you? If you have some problem, please come back to me. Send the product over, we'll solve your problem. Because there may be somebody who's just writing that your product has a problem and they've never purchased it. But you cannot just ignore it saying that यार इसने तो खरीदा ही नहीं है, ये तो ऐसे ही लिख रहा है. But आपको reply करना जरूरी है कि I am ready to solve your problem if you have a problem, right? So don't ignore it. Do reply to that. If you have any questions, you can reach out to me, to the team internally also. The use of AI can be great alternative along the Canva, this AI. So Canva has a lot of AI features also. Only AI will not never help you, right? Because you're trying to create, AI will not be able to generate a photo of a jewelry for you, otherwise you are out of business, right? If somebody had to design a jewelry, he'll be out of business if AI was able to generate it as much, right? So AI will be able to help you, but Canva also uses AI as much as possible. But आपको खुद से थोड़ा बहुत तो डिजाइन करना ही पड़ेगा. Okay. Anybody else has any other question? We have another 3 minutes before you start your next batch, the next lecture. You can unmute and ask questions also.
Hi, sir. This is Manu.
Hi.
Hi, sir. Like before that, I want to say I wish you good afternoon.
Thank you for that.
Yeah. Sir, I'm past 15 years from the market. I'm seeing the customers like they are not into the exactly into the online or e-commerce like for purchasing the jewelry. Like yeah, from past COVID. Like after COVID, they are into the online purchase. Like our market size of Indian market size is around like 900 tons
Yeah.
of gold. Around 2 or 3% are consumed by online customers only. It was a good improvement. Like it supported us a lot of it improves the business. People also agreeing we are going to jewelry purchasing jewelry in online. It's safe and people also agreeing with. But the thing is like what the company is looking for, like how we can target the target audience, like how can you connect with the target audience by using social media market or the online market like that.
So then, no, it's a very different market, right? So, the reason why I was continuously telling you whether you want to target your product to a youth or you want to target your product to a elder is something that you need to define, right? So you need to have a very clear mind of who you are trying to reach out.
Like I will take my example, sir. Like one second,
Sure.
I will take my example. Ours is like we are manufacturing to the temple jewelries, like very traditional type of jewelries. Like our market size is only around like 0.5% of the whole market size. Like our criteria is around like one piece of jewelry is like just two and a half lakhs above.
Mm.
Like
Mm.
yeah, it's as a luxury goods we consider, people consider as a luxury goods.
Mm.
Like
Mm. Mm.
so how can you suggest us which is the best category of target, because it is
So then,
to
so if you suppose you know this definition
mm,
that you're looking at a premium product, right?
mhm,
So
mhm.
first of all, you start creating. I mean, one, do you define your brand name and all of that? Right? Then you start
Yeah, yeah.
creating social media platform
Mhm,
um, with content which is going to be suitable to the audience that we are talking about, right? Somebody
mhm,
who wants to buy 2.5, 3 lakh worth jewelry and the occasions for which you are going to be able to service, you start creating content for that. Facebook, Instagram allows you to create campaign with
mhm.
few features, right? So one, they allow you to select age, gender,
Okay. Mm,
location. So you can say that I want to reach out to a 35-year-old to 40-year-old female in
mm,
Bombay or Kerala or Kochi or Chennai or Hyderabad or America or London, wherever in the world,
mhm.
okay, whose
Okay.
income is high, mid, low,
Mhm,
whose interest is jewelry or cars or something or something or something, is
mhm,
working or not working. If it's working, is she working in Infosys or Wipro or Tata or Reliance or whatever? If she's
mhm,
working, her designation is manager or senior manager or vice president or something like that, right?
mhm,
So you have option to target audience as sharp as you want, and not like you have to restrict yourself only from 20 to 25. You can say I want to create one campaign where this product I'm going to show to 20 to 25. There is another post that I want to show from 25 to 30, another post that I want to show from 30 to 35. uh,
mhm,
Facebook, LinkedIn will also, like Facebook will also show you ad, allow you to show ad to people who recently got married, people who just purchased a house, people who are going to get married, people who are planning to purchase a house, people who are planning to get a baby, people who already have a baby who's 3-year-old, 5-year-old, 10-year-old, 15-year-old, 18-year-old, right? Now, what I'm
mhm.
talking about is the option of targeting are too many. What you need to
Okay.
define is, these are my products, this product has to be shown to this type of people, and then somebody who knows how to advertise on Facebook will be able to set up campaign to reach out to those kind of audience for you, right? And
Okay.
as much sharp do you define who is going to buy my that product, you will be able
Mhm.
to reach out to those people at the least of the investment possible, right? Now,
Okay.
you, for product A, you can also say audience A and B, right? For example, for a particular jewelry, you can say my audience is so and so female,